Hi, this week on Primetime, we have a spotlight on the military. And today, we're joined by a company that helps improve military and law enforcement training. Gordon Potter is the president of PDT Technologies, and he's here now to share his story about what he does. And it's such an honor to have you on Primetime. Thank you.
Thank you
for coming on. So, Gordon, you have extensive military training. You were a Green Beret in Special Forces. And I mean, the list goes on, and I need another hour to tell our viewers all that you've done. And some of it is confidential. But tell us a little bit about your company.
Thank you, Taylor. PDT is a reality-based training facilitator. We manufacture the products that you see here and much more. We'll have you queue up the feed that we have a little bit later on. And what it's designed to do is help high-stress decision-making process for law enforcement, military, some of our host nation friendly partner countries to get used to enforcing law in a legal way so that they're justified in firing a weapon. We want to help them with that decision process.
And when you say high stress situation, it could be anything from a hostage situation, kidnapping,
absolutely,
to
yeah, we actually help with scenario development for law enforcement and military, although it's dictated by their policy. So what we do is we come in with the products, the methodology, some of the academia, and we help them build what works for them, what they need to extract for learning extraction. And frankly, we're well positioned. We love what we do. We're a very passionate company. And frankly, with all the sequestration, there's a lot of military planners that are hamstrung at the moment because they can't plan.
So who hires you? Is it the military? Is it is it corporations, contractors in the military?
We have three primary markets: military, law enforcement, and private security firms.
Okay.
Private security firms is a long list.
Yeah.
For example, what's going on in Afghanistan today, you have LOGCAP 4 and different programs that have different prime contractors for host nation security development. Anything from agriculture to law enforcement training to military training. So there's a lot going on with that. And what we like to do is just kind of dumb it down for, we have a proven system.
Yeah.
And we'd like to introduce this to the military side for that validation. It's important for, most of the training that's being done right now is getting the student up to a level where they graduate, but they've never encountered an adversary, an armed adversary yet. And there's a traditional gap that has to be transitioned from the range to a gunfight.
So let me ask you real quick, and going back, because you're going to show us what you have and what kind of training that you do, but with all the sequestration and the craziness that's going on within the government and military, where is warfare going? What do you see?
That's a good question, Taylor, and I'm glad you asked that, because right now, as I said, the sequestration, the biggest problem with it right now is it limits their ability to plan because they have no budget.
Right.
What we can do is we can introduce what we know. We know that this is pencil shavings in terms of cost to introduce this into the military, and the return on investment is quite high. What the reality-based training allows the trainer to do is to assess where they're at behaviorally. So you can have a kinetic environment with firing.
Oh, we get to play with your toys now,
firing
okay.
bullets at one another that are plastic.
So these are the plastic bullets. They look like they'd still hurt.
They do. They will leave a mark.
Okay.
But the point is to extract that learning curve for the student to get used to being shot at, to understand what cover means, so they can conceal themselves in cover, and they can actually experience a kinetic event. And the trainers, more importantly, can assess their behavioral response. The idea is to give them a conditioned response under stress to do the right thing.
Let's pull up some of your video now. We have video of guys training?
This is actually, Taylor, this is a mock-up of our, what we call the PDT training platform. And this can be taken to a host nation. It can be taken to Africa. It can be taken, police departments use it. And it's kind of showing from a first-person perspective, okay, there's an inanimate target. He's using cover. Now he's breaking. Okay, he's identified a threat there. It's dropped.
Wow. You know what? I feel like it's a video game.
Yeah. Well, this is actually a rendering of our actual range. So what you see is literally our range animated.
And where is your range located? Is that top secret?
Well, there's a number of them in use today. We'd like to see more of them in use, and that's why we're here. We'd like to educate our military users that, yeah, this is a proven system. We know what this does.
And you think law enforcement, with that whole Christopher Dorner situation, that was horrible. We did a live broadcast of that for 3 hours. And then just the other day here in San Diego, we had a man who shot himself, but SWAT had surrounded him, for many hours before that.
They've all used this, and it's as I say, it's a proven system, and it really helps with watching that behavioral response. If you have someone that's going to be a problem in a kinetic event, you'll see that early. It'll manifest itself early on.
So the person, the law enforcement officer or whatever,
right,
if you see that he couldn't handle it because of the pressure?
Yes, you'll see that in the reality-based training. That's why it's so important.
Do you see PTSD situations come out?
No, not to that extent.
Well, because I know a lot of military guys that do suffer from post-traumatic distress syndrome, right?
Yes, there is that, and that's a very serious thing.
Yeah.
What this helps do is it gives you a stress inoculation.
Yeah.
So what it does, it gives you just enough stress, but you're in a safe, controlled environment, and what it does is it helps you on the back end. So if a police department is looking at liabilities, for example, or the military, what is the back end of PTSD?
Are you basically saying if they're looking for the weak link?
Well, it gives you a stress inoculation up front, so you're not going to be as likely to get PTSD on the back end. So yes, it does prepare for that, and no, it's not going to send someone that direction.
No, I mean, but you would, if they had that situation, you'd be able to see it come up in a situation.
Well, yeah, you could see if they're susceptible to that. Yeah, that's correct.
Well, I love it, but again, just like I tell my daughters, practice makes perfect. So you're creating those neuron pathways, or you're putting them in that situation and training them.
And we're observing.
Yeah.
And then we have what's called an after-action review, where we take the video of the training event, and that's really where the learning begins, because they have to know what right looks like.
So they get to watch themselves.
Yes.
That's so great.
They get to watch themselves, they get to watch how they move as a group, and they can watch, okay, you don't want to flag someone with your weapon, so you watch for things, little things, that really are big and pay off big when you're deployed or when you go face an armed adversary.
Awesome. Well, before we go, I just want you to quickly describe what you have here, your props.
Thank you for that. Yeah, as you say, this does leave a mark. Ththese move at about 400 feet per second.
You got some hollow points there?
These are the marking projectiles, which is used for force on force. If you and I were to engage right now in a fight, we'd use these. And that goes with all the protective equipment.
So these are basically, got it. I don't want to take out someone's eye.
And the inanimate targets, which you saw in the video, is using a solid polymer. And the other two are blanks.
It's still gonna hurt.
The other two are, they do. You don't want to shoot one in with that. These blanks, one is a full flash blank, and the other one is a contained flash blank. So if you're in close working, you don't want to flash, you don't want to harm someone or put someone's eye out, you use those.
Okay.
It'll still cycle the weapon. This is our latest generation of our headgear that's designed to be flexible. You can feel that and flex it.
Yeah.
The reason that it's designed that way is so that you can get, the user can get down on a shoulder-fired weapon and get a nice sight picture. It's hard to do with something rigid.
Yeah.
This is the only one of its kind
right now. Do you get a patent on that?
Yes, we do.
Good.
So that's basically it. And then you have obviously the instructor, so that's a no-shoot thing. Armored gloves. These are padded chest protectors, front and back.
Nice.
So.
Are they bulletproof? No.
No. No, but it's certainly going to
sting from those. And what do you got here?
Oh, this is. I want to talk about this for a second.
Okay.
This is what's called a marking knife. It has felt around the edge, and it's designed to be used as a. No, it doesn't hurt, right? It's designed to be used as a marking media.
Okay.
So, here's the thing.
If
you have, let's say, a 21-foot rule, which means if anyone breaks 21 feet, you are constitutionally allowed to engage that target.
Wow.
So if you come at me with a knife and you break that 21 feet, which, we can...
I broke it. You're going to stab me now?
What this does is it allows someone to close that distance and test that method. And if they get a mark on you, you can't deny that you just got touched.
I love it. This sounds like something I want to do just for the fun.
Yeah.
Of it, Well, thank you so much for coming on Prime Time. Is there
Taylor.
anything that you'd like to tell our viewers in closing?
It's serious business. This is designed for serious trainers, and it's technology that's been around for the last 20, 25 years. We like to think that we have the best methodology. We're coming out from behind distribution, so this is a great time for us to say we're coming out, and we're very happy to be here and be part of this community.
Oh, I love that. Let's pull up your website. So viewers, if you want any more information or to contact them, there's their website. Pretty incredible stuff here, and to tell you, I feel a lot safer having you around.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. All right, we got to take a quick break. Prime Time will be right back.